Imagine for a moment if you had the ability to fully understand women's desires and preferences. How would you use this power? It's likely that if you could read women's minds, you'd be confused and surprised. You discover that for the most part, what they crave most internally they will never ask or reveal to a man. Hello, in this video, I'm going to share 7 things that women secretly desire, but will never ask you, for I can guarantee that the 6th thing they love most will surprise you. Stay with me until the end of the video to find out without further ado. Let's get started. The first thing women want is for a man to be unpredictable. A truly seductive and passionate man is one who can arouse strong and intense emotions in a woman. Have you ever thought about the opposite of this type of man? It's someone who is monotonous, who always performs the same actions and says the same things. A boring, predictable man, that person. You can anticipate what he's going to say or do. He always takes women to the same places to become a man who arouses passion and drives a woman crazy. You have to break out of this monotonous routine and do things that she can't predict. When you become unpredictable for a woman, she naturally loses interest in you. However, it's important to note that she will never say this explicitly. You'll notice it through her actions. She may ignore you, keep you waiting, or show less interest. In some cases, she'll simply disappear without any explanation. Understand that if she doesn't reply to your messages or disappears, it's because she has no interest in you. If she liked you, she would show interest and get in touch. Filling up her inbox when she doesn't reply is just a way of annoying her. The ideal is to send a message and wait for a reply. One of the main characteristics that women look for in a man is the ability to listen attentively. It's no surprise that women like to talk after. After all, they start to develop verbal communication skills from a very early age, while boys take a little longer. Therefore, expressing feelings verbally is an inherent female trait. However, many men don't take the time to really listen to what a woman has to say. And therein lies the secret to seducing women naturally and spontaneously. The more you actively listen to what a woman is saying and pay attention to her thoughts, the more her mind creates a positive projection of you. This makes her feel more and more attracted to you. Most men only engage in passive listening, and that's where the problem lies. I'll explain the difference between active and passive listening. Many people pretend they're listening when someone speaks, but in reality they're not paying attention. This is known as passive listening. Active listening, on the other hand, involves really concentrating on what the woman is saying, asking questions, looking into her eyes, and agreeing. This practice has immense power, believe me. The more you learn to listen attentively, the more influence you will have over a woman. So developing the habit of active listening will make all the difference to your relationships. You'll be amazed at the results when you put this simple habit into practice. In addition, women also look for a man who is not overly respectful. That's right, you heard correctly. The big mistake many men make is to treat a woman they are interested in with excessive respect, as if they were their own sisters or mothers. From childhood, we are taught to respect women, open the car door for them, and present them with flowers. These practices are commonly portrayed in countless romantic comedy films, where men are almost submissive to women's wishes. Although it's important to respect women, it's equally important to balance this attitude with a stance of equality and authenticity. Women want a man who treats them with respect, but also with whom they can establish a relationship of partnership and reciprocity. Therefore, when seeking to establish a relationship with a woman, remember to be respectful but also authentic, showing yourself as an equal partner and not as a doormat. This is extremely off-putting for women, as they don't want a submissive man but someone who is capable of leading and making decisions. What's more, it's essential to know how to joke and play in a fun way. This doesn't mean being disrespectful, but having a good sense of humor and showing interest in a relaxed way. For example, during a conversation, you can make lighthearted jokes and use touch to create a connection. Another important aspect is your appearance. If you want to win over a woman who takes care of herself and invests in her appearance, you need to make an effort to dress well. This doesn't mean spending a lot of money on expensive clothes, but rather looking good, taking care of your personal hygiene, and choosing clothes that match and enhance your style. It's also essential to be in control of the situation. Women appreciate men who can make decisions and lead. For example, when choosing a location for a date, Be assertive and say, "Let's try that place over there," while pointing in the desired direction, showing confidence. And authority can arouse interest and attraction. However, many men end up allowing women to dominate their lives, whether it's with regard to day-to-day decisions or even more important matters. It's important to remember that women aren't looking for someone who is controlled and manipulated, but rather someone who is strong and independent. Therefore, it is essential to balance attitudes: be bold but respectful, be fun but not disrespectful, dress well but don't overdo it, be in control but not overbearing. Remember that every woman is unique and you have to adapt to each situation and personality. By following these tips, you'll increase your chances of winning a woman's attention and interest. Whether it's for a serious relationship or something more casual, reversing this perception and making decisions to protect her will be a difficult task. The sixth recommendation is to avoid oral sex. If there's one request that the vast majority of women would like to make of men, it's exactly that. It's not just about providing oral pleasure for a few minutes before intimate intercourse, but about dedicating oneself completely to it and enjoying it. Many of my friends complain that their partners seem to do this out of obligation, but the man who performs the act with genuine pleasure, without worrying about time and focused entirely on satisfying his partner, guarantees maximum pleasure for her. So make the most of this opportunity. Use and abuse this practice like there's no tomorrow. I'm sure she'll really enjoy it and feel even more in love with you. On that note, I'd like to ask you something. Are you one of those who is a bit squeamish about practicing oral sex, or are you on the side of the more traditional men? Comment below. But be careful with your words to avoid your comment being blocked. Moving on, the seventh thing you should do is learn to say no to her. Women often evaluate men in various situations to make sure they have the right partner. These evaluations can include asking them to do absurd tasks simply to test their limits. Many men end up giving in and doing everything they want, becoming known as boss men. Some may think that women appreciate it when men cater to their every whim, but this is wrong. Women appreciate men who do things to please them, but they appreciate even more those who know how to set limits and say no. It's important to pay attention to this because women lose interest when they realize that a man's world revolves around them. We can compare this dynamic to that of a diamond. What makes a diamond special is that it is a precious and rare stone, hard to find. Scarcity generates desire, just as something that is scarce is more attractive than something that is always available. When something is always available, we don't feel the same desire for it. So you also need to act in the same way. It's important to put yourself first in your life and to know how to say no to people. For example, imagine that you were always available to everyone around you, always fulfilling requests and doing everything that was asked of you. Over time, people would begin to value your presence and attitudes less, as they are used to your constant availability. However, if you know how to set limits and put your needs first, people will come to value your company more and respect your decisions. It is therefore essential to find a balance between pleasing others and preserving your own individuality. Learn to say no when necessary, set your limits, and put yourself first in your life. In this way, you will become more desirable and valued by the people around you. Just like a precious and unique diamond, the priority should be you. Putting your goals first, it's perfectly acceptable to help people and have friendly conversations, even to do favors for women. However, when you start neglecting your own achievements to the detriment of other people's needs, you become a man of little value. This attitude is similar to the comments some men leave on women's photos, such as beautiful to stand out. It's essential to be different from the rest. Be a diamond, be scarce and rare to find. Know how to say no when necessary. By doing this, women will begin to see you as a man of high value. When you put women in the background, they will naturally be more attracted to you because you will become scarce and from other men. I hope you enjoyed this content. If the video was useful to you, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. A big hug and see you next time.